All right, welcome back. Pete Buttigieg just joined us a moment ago. When asked about socialist policies gaining traction in his party, he said this.
Yeah, look, I think that there are so many issues where about 2/3 of Americans are in agreement with each other and in disagreement with the president. And my focus is on those things, right? 2/3 of Americans disagree with the Trump tax cuts for the wealthiest Americans. 2/3 of this country believe that wages ought to be higher. Even most Republicans think we ought to raise the minimum wage more than we have. Most Americans believe that we ought to have health care for everybody.
All right, let's get reaction now from Fox News political analyst Reince Priebus, former RNC chair and chief of staff to President Trump. Reince, thanks for joining us this morning. Top line thoughts reacting to Mayor Pete there.
I felt like I was listening to Dick Gephardt from like 25 years ago. That's what I thought. I mean, I think extremely boring, same old story, not answering the real question on the table, which is you've got a party that's rejecting Israel. You have a party that's talking about October 7th being inevitable, 9/11's inevitable, a party that views America through a lens of grievance. What do it's just the same old recipe that I've been hearing since I've been in high school. That's what I thought.
He's not wrong when he points out that most Americans feel the wealth gap has reached a sort of impossible point. They don't want to see it go any further.
Well, I think if you ask most Americans, you think that there are too many people, don't make as much money as they should. Sure. If you ask them,
right,
you can ask a question however you want to ask a question and get an answer that you want to get. I mean, the reality is that it is true that there are some things that are going very, very well, and there are some things that people feel need to go better. I mean, that's just true. But ultimately, in a campaign, it's sort of like outrunning a bear. You just have to. You don't have to outrun the bear. You have to outrun the person next to you. So you have an opponent, and right now the opponent, the Democrats, from where Pete Buttigieg is at, is aligning itself with people that are far outside the mainstream. They're on the wrong side of normal, and he didn't really address that when he was pressed, and that's the big question for him.
Yeah, I want to get your thoughts about what he said on the Iran war. Take a quick listen.
I guess I'd advise him to start by telling the truth to the American people. Because when he says it's going to be 4 weeks and then breaks that promise, it reminds people of when he said he wouldn't start this war and broke that promise. When he says he will settle for nothing less than unconditional surrender and regime change, and then changed his mind, backpedaled, and agreed to a framework for a ceasefire that was very different, then that ceasefire has been broken.
That was a major component of the president's re-election platform. Both he and the vice president stumped about it throughout the course of the campaign. Here, Reince, is public approval of this war. You can take a look according to the latest Fox News polling here. This is not the correct poll, but overall support is for the war is waning, and it's just at about, I think, 46 to 54% right now for and against this war continuing on. What is your message to the president's supporters on this war?
Well, a couple things. Okay, certainly, yeah. I mean, you have basically, depending on the poll, a 50-50 split on support and opposition to the war. But these polls are also going to change once the outcome is seen. I mean, obviously, if it turns out we've got a peace agreement in a month and they don't have a nuclear weapon and the Strait of Hormuz is kept open, well, obviously, then people are going to say, okay, I understand it, and it will be more popular. If it drags on for, another half a year, it's going to be less popular. We know that. But the most ridiculous thing, though, that Pete Buttigieg said is to try to claim that Donald Trump has not been transparent about what is going on in the war. I mean, Donald Trump he's been speaking directly to the Iranians through his Truth Social posts. He's been the most transparent commander-in-chief that you could ever have possibly hoped for. I don't know what he's talking about. He's been clear.
If you had to put a number on it, this is just a guess, we're not holding you to it, because I think it's illustrative. How many weeks longer do you think this military engagement continues?
I mean, I would think a month. I think that's what I see, a month, and it might ramp up, and then obviously they need to go back to the negotiating table. They need to keep bombing, and they shouldn't flinch. And all three of those at the same time.
Okay, looks like you're aligning with the president there on the time frame. Reince, thanks for taking time with us to respond to Mayor Pete. We appreciate it.
You bet. Thank you.
All right.
All right, thanks for watching. Check out my new podcast, Hanging Out with Me, Sean Hannity. The big interviews, the debates you won't get anywhere else. Like and subscribe for new episodes every Tuesday and Thursday.